extend on your point on Minnesota's efficiency, mostly in the first half, but throughout the game, Tanner Morgan,
No, he's great.
Well, he had a great 2019 season, 30 touchdowns, 6 picks. He had one of the best ratios in the country. And then he hasn't been the same guy since. He came into the game only completing 52% of his passes. Then he hits on 20 of 24 in this game.
Yeah, he was surgical. What I saw, I mean, he was picking Nebraska's defense apart. He knew where he was going with it. And at times Nebraska looked confused because Minnesota does have that scheme where they fool you. Basically, they run the same formations, but then they run a lot of different things out of those formations, and they had Nebraska's defense on their heels. Nebraska's defense didn't know really where the ball was going, and especially in the run defense. I mean, there was a lot of missed tackles and stuff, but Tanner Morgan, I mean, he was picking and choosing his spots right there, and his, I mentioned Augment Bell. My God, he had a career day, unbelievable day, and it kind of seems like Nebraska always kind of gives up something like that. All of a sudden, makes a guy an NFL star when they play against Nebraska, and that was another one of those days. And, I mean, Minnesota, their game plan was spot on. They knew what they were going to do, and they didn't shy away from it. And they took it to Nebraska, and that first, like I said, that first half is they went out in such a devastating fashion, basically putting 21 points on the board and keeping Nebraska's defense out there on the field for so long. And then Nebraska has to go hurry up. And you know what? Even watching it, Nebraska almost looks better when they go hurry up anyway. I mean, they went down there and they scored that first touchdown in the first half pretty efficiently. And, Ramir Johnson had a nice run in there. And, Ramir Johnson had a nice game, barring, being held up on a lot of those inside runs, but he had some special plays there. And Adrian Martinez, really, that's kind of the head scratcher to me because he was very inaccurate as well. He looked like he was off of his game, like Minnesota's defense had him confused. Adrian Martinez that I haven't seen like this all year. And so, like I said, my point is hats off to Minnesota's game plan. PJ Fleck and his staff spot on that, and they deserve to win that game.
Like to invite everybody here in the live chat to leave your comments and questions. Of course, Greg and I will run through them, mostly Greg, but myself as well, depending on what you got for us. I did find 3 consecutive series to be rather strange, peculiar for Nebraska in the fourth quarter. So they're down 21-16 at this point. And I want to make sure that I get this straight, of course, and I'm accurate. So they go on this 46-yard.
Before you even go into it,
yep.
There's just a lack of hey, we got to get this in there. I don't know. I mean, you're standing around, you're looking around for coaches to tell you something to do. I mean, get in there. There's just, I don't know. But go ahead. Sorry, I'm just venting here.
No worries. This is the time to vent. And Husker fans, vent in the live chat. This is the time. So they're down 21-16, and my screen page keeps shifting on me, so I'm trying to locate it. They're down 21-16. This is early fourth quarter. So first drive, they move it down the field, and this is the one drive in which they've got a first and goal at the Minnesota 5. So they got 4 plays to get it in. If they're going to go for the touchdown, they got 4 plays to get it in, and they run it 3 straight times, twice with Martinez, once with Ramir Johnson, and they get to the 1. So they got a 4th and goal at the 1, and then they bring in Jacques Yant, which I just thought that was a bit strange to bring the freshman in, and Ramir Johnson was the guy that had been running for all the yardage. and they ran pretty much the same running play just over and over and over 4 consecutive times inside the 5, and they didn't get in. So they get stopped at the 1.
So then you bring in your power guy when it's 4th down. Yeah, that makes no sense.
So then the defense comes in and does its job. They hold Minnesota right there.
Yep.
So even though that's a wasted drive, if you can hold them right there, they're at the 2-yard line. They punt back. So Nebraska's in great shape to drive again. So bam, Adrian hits Austin Allen for 40 yards right out of the gate. First play of that drive. They get down to the Minnesota 15. So they just hit him with a huge pass play to start the drive down to the 15. So like that, they're almost right down where they were before. But then they go for a couple more runs. And then on 3rd and 12, they run the ball. So they run the ball on 3rd and 12. Yeah. So my thought there is that if you're going to run the ball on 3rd and 12, how many times do you run for a first down on 3rd and 12? Like 5% of the time, maybe. Right. So aren't you setting yourself up for a short 4th down conversion to try to convert? So Yant gets 8 yards on 3rd and 12, which sets up 4th and 4. But they didn't go for it. They kicked a field goal and they missed it.
Yeah, I don't know what you're thinking there.
So then the next drive, Greg, the next drive, they come driving down the field again. They have to start at their own 16. They come driving down the field again. They start at their own 16. This time they get to 4th and 10. And they go for it. They didn't go for 4th and 4 the drive before, but they went for 4th and 10.
Yeah.
And they throw an incomplete pass. 4th and 10.
Yeah.
So,
hey, like I said, to my point earlier, Minnesota had them off of their game completely. I think Minnesota, not just on offense, but defensively, if you look at the first play of the game, Nebraska tries to run that option. Minnesota was all over that. And they played that the whole game. I mean, Ramir Johnson might have got away with 1 or 2 on that option play, but Minnesota was all over it. And the scheme that they had defensively had Nebraska just off of their game just as much as their offensive scheme did. So, yeah, back and forth. I'm telling you, PJ Fleck and his staff, excellent game plan. They deserved to win that game, hands down. Nebraska had no chance.